where we last left off, we were taking a look at The Land Before Time 5, The Mysterious Island. Petrie was getting on my nerves. And we left off with him getting waterboarded. When Petrie goes back under the water, he sees something that he never expected. It's bad enough that they're afraid of the big water. Then they find out that what they were really afraid of was the stuff that's inside of it too. How afraid of it he is, but he stays under it. He wants to be as far away from it as possible, but yet he gets dunked, and instead of climbing immediately back up, which would be our reaction, he just stays under there chilling out, like, let me take a look around. He tells his friends that there's a swimming shark tooth, and Sarah ends up getting launched into the water. The shark tooth is... Oh my god. I like how the shark just looks back at her like, how you doing looking like a snack? Honestly, at this point, I'm so scared for Sarah because every time she's in danger, she, funny enough, is always in water and she always looks super terrified. This is a very suspenseful scene, but they looped the music over and I think it would have been better if they added a little bit of bridge or some change up in the music. See, it just starts over, and I know it's very basic, but it's like, oh, okay, then it's over. No, it's not, and maybe that's what they were going for, but having watched a whole bunch of movies, like modern movies, even some of the older movies, they don't do this. There's no break in between. There's like an ebbing of the music, but it just doesn't seem to loop. So then you give the viewers this sense of, ooh, this scene is going on a lot longer than it should. Anyway, as they are swimming pell-mell, the shark almost collides into them, and they end up back on the beach of the island. Sad that they can't go home, and they're right back where they started. Littlefoot tries to pick them up and say that at least they're safe.
Well, at least we're safe from the swimming shark tooth.
Yeah, I'd much rather be eaten by the kind that walks.
Didn't you guys prefer that before? Didn't someone say that they preferred the one that walks? Gourmet and Migor are so sad. And honestly, this part is so heartbreaking because Gourmet's like, I'm afraid we might never see Littlefoot again. And the way he says it, you actually believe him. Like, I don't like Littlefoot's voice actor in this one. It feels very jarring. When you've watched the previous movies and you hear Littlefoot and he sounds like an actual person, and then you watch this movie and this person sounds like he swallowed a water balloon and it's stuck in his throat, and there's like no feeling whatsoever. It makes me feel like it's not really Littlefoot. But most of the other characters still feel like the characters.
I'm afraid we'll never see Littlefoot again.
Don't say that, dear. Of course we will.
Oh, Papa Longneck, don't be sad. I love Migor because she always tries to make everybody else feel better. She's always the one that tries to hold everyone together. In my story, she is as well. And Gourmet is always getting on her nerves. But it's so cute because even when Littlefoot was sad or when Gourmet is sad, she's concerned for them. But if they're freaking out, she tries not to freak out. She tries to be the positive one. She kind of rubs me off like an INFP or an INFJ or something. But she has a love for other people. And even though she's dying inside and she's worried, she tries to encourage everybody else. I'm also thinking because they're looking over across the ocean, I don't know why none of them decide to ask the flyer to go check the island just in case, but that's what I would do. The tracks disappeared in the water, so they probably think that the water carried them off. Meanwhile, at night on the mysterious island, everyone is crying, they miss their parents, and then we get that song Always There. I actually love that song a lot. You also get a call back to the first movie when Littlefoot mentions his mom. And he's talking about his mom. But people haven't watched the first movie. They're like, what the frick is he talking about? His grandparents are still there. But you can put it together that obviously the kid's an orphan because he doesn't have a mom or dad. Well, we know for sure he doesn't have a mom. They sleep through the night, but are rudely awakened when a shark tooth starts chasing them. They are freaking out. And later, when the shark tooth catches up to them, they discover that it's Chomper from the second movie. Chomper?
Bumbleclot!
Not only is Chomper a lot bigger, older, but he can also talk.
You live here?
Yep, me and my mommy and my daddy.
His mommy and daddy?
Why do Sarah's eyes look like that? Like, everyone has normal pupils. They have the colors, you know, their iris and their pupil. See the black part of the eye and the colored part? Okay, forget him. But Sarah... I don't know what's going on with I do notice as the movies progress, especially Sarah and Littlefoot, they start to look a little less flattering, like Five Nights at Freddy's versions of themselves. Chomper wants to introduce his friends to his parents. Sarah is very mistrustful. She knows that as Sharpteeth grow up, they're gonna eat her kind. I mean, it is what it is. It's not like she's being prejudiced for no reason. His kind eats her kind. If you had a friend around and they were a serial killer and they killed a whole bunch of people that looked like you, but they were your friend, wouldn't that be crossing through your mind at some point? Like, you know? Or a cannibal. I don't know why you'd be friends with a cannibal, but let's say you raised one from birth and you found out it was a cannibal. Would you not be a little bit frightened? That's how people should feel when they adopt exotic pets. Like freaking tigers and wolves and stuff. Things that can kill and eat you and are not domesticated, animals that can bring down a fully grown moose with little to no help. I would be very hyper aware that this creature is still a wild animal. If they're having a bad day, their claws can go through my ribs. Sarah's just keeping it real, and this is one of the only times I've seen in this movie when her eyes look normal.
This is Chomper, remember? We saved him from egg eaters. We hatched him. We're like his family.
Littlefoot, are you having a hard time keeping your head on your freaking neck? You're talking like those air spaghetti things. Chomper foolishly brings his parents to come and meet his friends. Okay. See, this is one of the annoyances about these movies. It's like 6 people are sitting in a room and they're all separated with cubicles, right? And nobody is checking the other people's work. You're supposed to start a storyboard and you work on one panel when the person works on your panel and it just keeps going down. But nobody looks over that work. You can clearly see that one of the Sharpteeth is dark and one of them is lighter brown, right? In case you can't, let me point it out. Voila! This, I'm guessing, is Chomper's father, is darker than this, who is Chomper's mother. We can see that his mother comes there first. She is the lighter T-Rex. She is standing there with the father not in sight. Correctimondo. Okay. So she's standing there, and then she calls out for her husband while she's still standing there. And then the scene switches. Like, let me show you how freaking... Okay, I'm gonna go back a few frames. Just so you don't think I'm crazy. She's already standing there. Chomper's father's not in the picture. And I'm gonna go forward. Boom. All of a sudden, she is now Chomper's father. Or they teleport and change places, and the father is now standing in the mother's position, and the mother is... Come on, people. Come on. Like, it's not that hard. Like, dude, I can understand if they were the same color, and one of them had, like, stripes on their head or on their tail, but they're 2 fucking different colors. Like, one is visibly much darker than the other. How do you mess this up? Like, I don't even understand. I can even understand the mess up with Allie and Littlefoot in The Land Before Time 4 at the end. Because I think that's one of the only times they do it where they change the characters. Because they look very similar, except one's darker and has different color eyes. It's very clear. But how do you miss an entire fucking animal that is like 7 shades darker than the other? It just... Oh God, man. I remember when I first watched this, and I was so confused, because I'm like, I mean, you know, back then you don't even think to rewind it or anything. And I'm just like, wasn't his mom the one standing? Oh, whatever. And I was so confused because I couldn't ever keep track of what was going on. But come on, y'all. Like, stop doing this. It's so stupid. It always makes me wonder if they're making it bad on purpose. Oh, hell no. This is the only movie where we see the parents talking to Chomper. Like, you can actually hear what they're saying. Well, not hear what they're saying, but understand what they're saying. The thing that's hilarious to me is how Chomper goes into freaking dolphin language when he's speaking. Oh, freaking hell, man. I can't. His noises. I'm guessing something is lost in translation because Chomper asks his father and mother, can I bring some friends to dinner? They look kind of confused, like, what is he talking about? Sure, we can use some dessert. I'm guessing there's no word for friends in Sharptooth language or in T-Rex language because this is just too on the nose for me. It's probably why they looked at each other, because they have no idea what the word friends means. And they're thinking, okay, he wants to bring something to dinner? Sure, why not? I don't think they actually understand what friends are. There's probably no word for that in their language. This is when Chomper realizes, oh my god, Littlefoot and the others are right. They do want to eat my friends. I'm pretty sure if Chomper had, like, explained to his parents, hey, Mom, Dad, remember the dinosaurs that helped raise me and kept me safe? Well, you know, they're my friends. I don't want you to eat them because they help raise me and protect me. Maybe they wouldn't care because, I mean, it's food. To them it is, and their brains are thinking, okay, it's no different than something chasing you and the tree that's growing in our backyard falling on that thing and saving your life. Maybe that's how they're thinking about it. Regardless, it's not safe to have his friends around because Sharpteeth can also smell very well. While Chomper goes off to find a better place for his friends to hide, freaking Reptar from Rugrats makes an entrance.
I came looking for booty.
At least they're somewhat staying consistent with these Sharpteeth because Sharpteeth have very good sense of smell. As we can see, Reptar bites into the bushes where the friends were hiding earlier. As we could see in the first movie, even though Sarah and Littlefoot were hiding, the Sharptooth was still able to pick up their scent. Look how cute Sarah and Littlefoot were. Now they look like cooked rice. I kept wondering to myself when I saw the first movie, how is its body so long? One of the reasons why the first Land Before Time, I know we're kind of off kilter here, but one of the reasons The Land Before Time, the first movie, will always be my favorite is because it was the most real. The kids felt the most real with their interaction. The predators felt real. Take a look at this. The way the dinosaur sounds, the way he leaps. That was freaking awesome, man. That was freaking awesome. Then look at Littlefoot's mother's face. Like, she's like, bitch, don't you touch my shit. Oh my god, this movie was so freaking amazing. I could watch the first Land Before Time over and over and over again. If they had never made another Land Before Time movie, this would have still been a classic. And it still is. Okay, I just, like, took a few minutes and watched over this scene with his mom dying, and I'm crying again. Like, no matter how many times I watched that, out of context, just that clip, man, it was true mastery right there. And then they just shat the dick away with the new movies. Anyway, Chomper tells his friends to stay close as he leads them to that stinky area where he can hide their scent. For some reason, Ducky decides to not look where the hell she's going. Like, this is not your first rodeo, Ducky. What are you doing? Then someone rescues her. It doesn't take long for her to find out that this stupid thing that has the same kind of eyes that Sarah has is not her rescuer. Also, somebody had pointed out something. Remember how Petrie was like, I can't fly? And they could have written it so much better so that he could fly across the island, or a reason why he couldn't fly across the island. This would have been a great idea. This bird thing. It preys on smaller animals. It probably would have preyed on Petrie as well. Or even if they had just made him get tired, like address that. How he starts to fly and then he feels the wind from the ocean and he's like, On second thought, I don't think I could fly across this and make it because it's way too windy.
Down. I won't look down.
Me make you look.
I will dunk you in that water with that frickin' shark. Don't play with me. After Sarah crosses the log, perfectly fine, Spike decides to close his eyes while he's crossing. I don't care how confident you are. It is some serious special sort of natural selection if you're crossing an area where you can literally get swallowed up by the earth if you fall and close your damn eyes. As heavy as you are, Spike, you should not be closing your eyes when you're walking across a stick. Nobody notices Ducky's gone, but good thing that the creature's nest who brought Ducky to feed its babies happens to be right above where Littlefoot and his friends are. They've arrived at the place. And those roses smell disgusting. Really makes me wonder if dinosaurs were actually really smelly and they like things that smell bad, and these are roses. I'm sure they're not. They don't look like the plants that be roses, but these are roses and they smell good to us but smell horrible to them. Anyway, he says nobody will ever find you here. Chomper offers to bring them some food since Spike is going to eat their entire hideout.
I just love having friends for dinner.
Makes me wonder, if Chomper loves having friends for dinner, he must have had friends for dinner before. Did he say that to troll them? Or did he actually have friends for dinner? And if he actually had friends for dinner at some point earlier, wouldn't his parents know what that means? But yet they acted very confused as though they didn't even know what the term friends meant. Chomper goes around and starts singing, as do the other friends. They tell him to get a whole bunch of stuff that he wouldn't eat.
One thing we know we don't wanna be is friends for dinner.
He comes back back and brings them food. And I gotta say, Chomper did a hell of a job. He's gonna take care of them like they took care of him, which wasn't very well. Look at how nicely he was able to feed them food. And all the time that they had Chomper in the Land Before Time 2, they never fed him anything that he liked. He had to go find his own food. He's younger than they are, yet he's doing a better job feeding all 5 of these older children than they did of all of them taking care of him.
Sure you won't have a bite? Well,
Littlefoot, watch out!
I gotta go.
Oh, poor Chomper. I mean, he was looking at Littlefoot's foot like it was a tasty shrimp. Sarah only said something because Chomper looked like he wanted to have some of that. Chomper has eaten other longnecks and other dinosaurs. It's very apparent from the conversation he has with his parents. So I don't mind Sarah being a little bit aware of that. She's the most realest person there. After all, they raised Chomper, but Chomper bit her tail. So Sarah's a little salty from that time. She's like, listen, regardless of how much he loves us, he still tried to fucking eat me. And then Littlefoot's mad at her, and I understand why he's mad, but he can't be that freaking naive. Chomper's crying, and I feel so bad for him because he probably feels like his friends should trust him. Littlefoot catches up to him and apologizes.
And back there.
Ew, Chomper, that's your mom! I know, Littlefoot, and she's thick. When Littlefoot asks what he said, he says that his mother told him not to play with his food, to which they start laughing. When Littlefoot goes back to the hiding spot, he remembers that he left his last tree star there. He's like, y'all, if you ate my last tree star, I'm gonna be very upset. Sarah comes out with a mean mug until she realizes it's Littlefoot. Unfortunately, it's not Littlefoot she's scared of, it's freaking Reptar. Now this thing knows where they are. It starts chasing them all over the island. Apparently, they forget that Sharpteeth can jump very far as well. After a while, they run out of land and they know they can't even jump in the water if they wanted to because the swimming Sharptooth's still there. Why it's still there? No idea. Now, this is the part where it's so annoying because at least the first movie tried to make a point of having the creature hesitate right before it bites them. But this thing is like, oh, I'm chasing you. I'm chasing you. Now that I have you, I'm gonna stare at you. You can't run now. I'm gonna inch closer and closer and closer. And when I'm right in front of you, I'm gonna frickin' roar. So you're nice and scared. And then...
Coughs project thousands of bacteria up to 7 feet away, with a force that hits my face at 55 miles per hour.
So Chomper intervenes and saves his friends by biting the thing's tail. While its attention's on Chomper, Sarah tells it to leave him alone and she punks into it and quickly runs away. This thing wastes so much time just staring at things that it deserves what it gets. It then bites its own tail and does that stupid roar, that stupid man scream that you hear in everything. Hearing that come out of a Sharptooth, a dinosaur, for some reason, just does not sit well with me. I don't know why. Why was that the sound effect? Oh, God. Whatever. Okay, so just bear this in mind, right? It's super mad now because these things pissed it off. Maybe it was toying with them before, but it's super angry because they pissed it off. And then it's like, let me just inch closer and roar. Oh my God, can we stop doing this? Like, I know this was a long time ago, this is a movie a long time ago, but literally every kid-oriented movie does this shit, and it's so freaking annoying. In my fan fictions or audio dramas, and in other people's fan fictions and stories, they don't do this crap. They don't do this crap. The kids are there, the thing is snapping at them, they're trying to get away. I mean, it looks like the thing actually will hurt them. In my stories, people get hurt. I do a lot of retconning because it's fun. It's kind of the running gag with those things, but people do get hurt. There are some gruesome scenes when Littlefoot's friends get pulverized. Or there's a main character who you don't know if that character's gonna die or not. Or it could just be a situation like Petrie where he just gets killed and stays that way. The main idea is that they're the main character of the story because chances are they're not gonna die, but they are gonna get hurt. And you have to make it at least a little bit believable that they can die with the situations that they're in. This is not believable. I can believe if this Sharptooth old Reptar here decided to lean down and start snapping at them and they were running over his head and trying everything in their power to get away. What I can't believe is him taking his sweet ass time and inching closer to them to roar while he's had them dead to rights. There's nowhere for them to go. Lean down and bite. Jesus. Then Chomper's parents come, and he seriously messes them up. Like, both of them. Poor Chomper's father gets, it's so messed up the way he does it. This one creature that looks like a hybrid takes them on. Chomper's mother comes in. What I actually do appreciate in this movie is that while Reptar is fighting Chomper's mother, he scratches her and you get to see blood. Wow, I'm very impressed. He also did that with Chomper's father. Rake right across the face. And a dinosaur fight that is very impressive. Although Chomper's father just got scratched and then I guess the cut disappeared. Where's his cut? Oh, come on. You were doing so well. You just scratched him, dude. Like a huge gash. Where'd it go? Reptar tail slaps Chomper's mom. I mean, like drop kicks her with his tail. Chomper is not okay with that. I like how his dad was getting beat up and he didn't care. But the minute you touch a boy's mother, he's like, you can't do that to my mom. Like, bitch, your dad was also getting beat the shit up. But it's his father. His father's supposed to be able to handle himself, right? But you can't touch his mom. The father's like, how dare you do that to my wife? And slaps Reptar away. But as Reptar is falling, the others manage to move out of the way, but Chomper doesn't get out in time and falls over into the ocean. The way his mom cries after him is so sad.
No, God!
And apparently in this world, T-Rexes aren't good swimmers, so they're really scared for Chomper. Chomper and Reptar are drowning, and Littlefoot makes the decision to jump in after Chomper, while his parents and everyone are more than happy to see Littlefoot rescue their child. The current sweeps Reptar away and they're saved. But Littlefoot and Chomper are not out of the woods yet. They see a fin, but it's okay, because it turns out to be a...
You children look tired.
While everyone's cheering, Chomper's mom looks like a frickin' beanbag villain from Out of the Nightmare Before Christmas after Sarah hugs her to celebrate. And Sarah's like, all right, cool, yay. This plesiosaur-looking creature, or elasmosaur, or whatever the frick she is, ushers them back to the island. Her name is Elsie. Elsie. The fact that her name is Elsie makes me think she's the Elasmosaurus, because Elsie, Elasmosaur, they usually have names that correlate with what dinosaurs they are. Chomper's just happy to be with his parents, and they tell the kids through Chomper that they're safe with him, or them. The father is like, anything that smells like that couldn't taste very good anyway. And then Chomper does a thing I can't stand with some people. I get why they do it, but it's so deceptive. When they're like, what'd your dad say? Oh, he says same for him. That's not what he said. Elsie overhears that they're looking for their parents and they actually want to go back to land across from the island. And she's like, why didn't you say so? She starts taking them across. Chomper and his parents say goodbye.
That's my grandpa.
Is he now? So that's where you get your good looks. Oh, I was right taken with him, I was. If only he had flippers, we'd make quite a pair swimming about in the sea.
If only he wasn't fucking married. I like how she doesn't even consider, like, she's seen the entire herd. She's seen it with his wife, and she's like, no, just you. Back on shore of the mainland mass, the grown-ups all found this wonderful place. And Mario Tops is like, yeah, it's great that we found this, but without our kids, what's the point? And they're all sad, even though all the others have kids left over. But it's painful when you lose your kids, and especially have no closure. So Meegor is telling them, look, we gotta have faith. Why do her eyes? Looks like she was sniffing some serious drugs. Like, what? I've never seen her eyes look like that. Haunting. So Mr. Tops gets fed up for all of this, and he's like, what do you expect them to do? Rise up out of the ocean? That's exactly what they do. And I don't know why this part cracked me up so much, but it did. Because you never really see Mr. Tops be vulnerable and look stupid. But in this scene right here, he looks hilarious and sounds hilarious.
Littlefoot?
Sarah? Sarah? Sarah!
You can tell that a lot of Sarah's personality comes from her dad. The kids are reunited with the grown-ups, and the Elasmosaurus can't take the hint. She's got to throw that one last in. But you know, you can't even blame her at that point because she did save your kids.
Thank you. Goodbye, and thank you so much.
I mean, I mean, I know a way you can, like, really thank me, though, so, I mean, I'm already wet, because I'm in water. My wife. Well, Gourmet, if you dare, I'll kill us all.
Jesus Christ.
Goddamn cock-blocking woman, I just want some new pussy. What was that? The grown-ups show the kids this wonderful paradise. Megor tells them if they had not been looking for the kids, they wouldn't have found it. And they stay there long enough for the Great Valley to regrow so they can all move back in. And I love how the credits are going and you can actually see the Longnecks and Sarah and everyone going back home. I wonder how much time would have passed for everything to grow back this way. And that's the end of The Land Before Time 5, The Mysterious Island. It was one of those weird, I don't know, I feel like this was kind of like a filler episode or filler part of the series. I don't know how to feel about it. Of course, when I first saw it a long time ago, it's like, oh, Land Before Time, another one. I just wanted to collect them all like Pokemon. And I walked away from it being like, oh, that was nice. They got to see Chomper again. Oh, and that was nice. They got to cover something that happened outside of the Great Valley. But let's be honest, this was the equivalent to an anime filler episode. I just love how terribly bad some of these movies are. And you don't notice some of the stuff until later when you're older you watch it. But that's part of what makes it so entertaining. I hated the voice change for Littlefoot. And it was especially stark in some cases where you know how he really talks. Or at least how this voice actor talks. And then he starts singing and there's like this stark contrast.
You think you could find any tree stars around here? Yeah, but at least we'll be safe here.
You hear how he talks, right? Now let's hear let's hear how he sings. This made my ears freaking ring because I'm like, whoa, wait, that's not how he sounds.
He just wants to have friends for dinner.
Yo, what happened to your voice, my guy? Just makes me sad watching them just decline, especially when you've watched the first movie and even the second movie and you look at all the others and you're like, damn. It's still Land Before Time, so I still love it because it's Land Before Time, but that's basically the only reason. Anyway, here's my character called Styra. She was a reoccurring character a very long time ago when I was doing my Land Before Time fanfiction, audio drama stuff, and she was basically like a contrast to Sarah. Styra is a Styracosaurus, and like Sarah, she's very soft-spoken and super sweet and loves to swim. She and Ducky became good friends, but she had to leave the Great Valley after her father died. As a result, she couldn't stay with her new friends and had to move with her mom to her mom's previous herd before she moved with her father. I haven't used Styra since, and she was a really great character. I just hope wherever she is now, she's having a good time and she's happy. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.